The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. My name is Leo Connors, and I'm your host. And tonight, I got a very special guest, Davis Wright, ring announcer down in, now what's that, more in the Rhode Island area, correct?
Yeah, I'm usually in the chop shop down in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, but I also ring announce and do some play-by-play for NCW, Northeast Championship Wrestling, and also Elkmania up in the Salem and Beverly area.
Nice. That's awesome. Actually was in that building not too long ago at the APW show. They ran a show. A nice little build, nice little setup they got there.
It is. It's very good.
Nice.
Very good for a wrestling show.
Yes. Now, Davis, where did you grow up?
I grew up in the mean streets of Lynn, Massachusetts.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, East Lynn. Not exactly the mean streets. That was obviously sarcasm, but I grew up in Lynn till I was about 14. Moved to Peabody, Massachusetts, not too far away, and been here pretty much ever since.
Nice. Yeah. Hey, seeing you from Lynn, do you know my old co-host Derek Dukes?
The name does not ring a bell. However, my dad grew up in Lynn as well. He may know everybody there. So
yeah, Derek probably knows your dad. Derek knows everybody. All right. So when did you first see pro wrestling?
Oh, geez. I knew you were going to ask me this, and I've been thinking about it all week. WrestleMania 2 was the first show I ever saw.
Nice.
My dad had a bunch of buddies over from his work. WrestleMania 2 was what, 86, I think? So I was about 7 or 8 years old when that happened. And I was just enamored by it, just like the spectacle. I mean, back then it was, shoot them if you got them. I mean, everybody was all juiced up. Massive men. So it really drew me in, just the humanity in the ring.
Right. That's awesome. So my next question was, were your friends or family interested? So your dad liked wrestling?
He did it at the time, and he saw immediately that I was drawn to it. So we would watch the Saturday morning Superstars and Wrestling Challenge with Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan on the mic, and it turned into, you buy every pay-per-view. And, back then there was maybe one or two. It eventually grew to like 4 main ones a year. So we would get every pay-per-view, and I'm sure I got a collection down in my basement or up in my attic of old tapes of old pay-per-views from the 80s and early 90s.
Wow, that's awesome. You got them on VHS?
VHS, yes. For the kids watching, that's a tape. It's not a DVD. It's a video cassette. But yeah, I got a box of them somewhere.
You should see I got 3 banana boxes full of VHS tapes, right, that go too deep. You know what I mean? Because the banana boxes, and there's 2 to 3 shows on each one. It's unbelievable. I swear you should see it. It's unbelievable. And I have to put it on DVD or it's going to be non-existent eventually. Yeah,
we're going to find a VCR at this point.
Right? All right. So who were some of your favorites when you first got into wrestling?
This is going to sound weird because he wasn't really a big star then. But
that's all right.
Bret the Hitman Hart back at WrestleMania 2. He was in the Battle Royal with all the NFL players.
Yes.
And he was, along with his partner, Jim the Anvil, Neidhart, he was in there with Andre. They were the last 3 in the ring. And
yes.
I could just tell then, it's going to sound like a bunch of BS coming from me, but I could tell then he was going to be something, the way that he just carried himself in the ring. And it just drew me to him. I was just amazed with him ever since.
Right. Don't sell yourself short, because believe me, what you saw happened because you saw it happening. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You really did. And a lot of guys were big Bret Hart guys back then, too. He ended up being pushed to the moon. Him and Shawn were the beginning of the small guys. And neither one of them guys were that small either. Like a Daniel Bryan, Mm-hmm. But that's interesting. I like to hear that. All right. So when did you know you wanted to be a part of the business? Like, did you ever want to be a wrestler, or would you always want to do what you're doing now?
Well, growing up, every kid wanted to be a wrestler. They found a way to, either, some people had a trampoline in their backyard. I had couch cushions and
Right.
and teddy bears to wrestle. So yeah, I always knew that I wanted to be in the business. I knew that I would never be able to actually wrestle physically. I was kind of a runt growing up, so I knew that I wasn't going to be able to wrestle. But I always knew that I wanted to be in the business, and it took me quite a while to get into it. But yeah, always wanted to be in it.
Nice. That's awesome. All right. Now, so did you end up doing any training at all anywhere?
I am actually currently training with Brickhouse Baker.
Nice.
I say training with air quotes
Yep.
because I did one class and then the pandemic hit. So
Right. But you can get back there, no problem.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But what I would do is typically there were a lot of guys at those classes, so I would record my podcast called Working to a Shoot.
Yes.
Plug.
That's all right. We're going to talk about that once we get through this. All right, cool.
Oh, okay. So I would grab one of the guys to do the podcast there, and then I would hang around for a little bit, watch the class, and you just get that itch. You just get that want to try it out. So I said, what the hell? I'll give it a shot one night. And Brickhouse Baker, he showed me the ropes, literally, had me running them, had me hitting corners, had me doing bumps, and I wanted to go back. I loved it.
Nice. That's awesome to hear. And Brickhouse is coming out in a couple weeks.
Oh, is he really? Excellent.
Yeah, on April 20th, on our favorite date. Me and Brickhouse, I think we both love 420, the date.
You may want to have the beep ready to censor him a little bit.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's all right. All right. So there was who were some of the guys that were training that time that you went down there, though, and you were recording the podcast stuff? Who was training in the ring?
Well, you see some of the guys that are considered veterans in the area. Insane Dick Lane was there. The Freak Show Sean Leader. Tom Billington. T. Phoenix. His son, AJ.
Yep.
But some of the younger kids, Denzel Jordan, he's going to be a star. The kid's got nothing but athleticism and charisma. He's absolutely incredible. The Mighty Bosch was down there as well. He's
Nice.
It's nice to see somebody down there my age. I actually did a show with him on my podcast, and it was funny because he's actually about a year older than I am. I thought I was the oldest kid in the block, but getting to talk with him on the show was a lot of fun. But yeah,
Nice.
a lot of young kids coming up. It's going to be
That's awesome. Well, and it's no wonder that Dick Lane has been killing it lately. Seriously, all over the place. You know what I mean? He's having great matches every time he goes out there. Seeing him down there working with Brickhouse and all the other young kids down there, that's great. It's great to hear.
Yes. Yeah, he definitely he gives his input with things going on. Oh, one person I definitely should mention. He's like Brickhouse's right-hand man is Stephen Lust. He's also
Okay,
there,
yep.
training as well. Don't want to forget him, but yeah, Insane Dick Lane had an incredible 2019. He actually won Wrestler of the Year on my podcast.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, he's really been killing. A lot of those guys are, and it's good to see that they're, even though they've been wrestling for a while now, they still want to go and train. That's awesome. All right, so could you tell us, how did you get started with the ring announcing? Oh,
well, actually, my first gig was a play-by-play job.
Okay, and who was that for?
That was for NCW.
Okay.
JC Marks, the promoter there. Actually, I went to broadcasting school a couple of summers ago, Connecticut School of Broadcasting, and one of my instructors was a woman by the name of Lauren Patisi. She's a local DJ.
Yes.
She's on Country 102.5, and she was also my instructor. And we, found out that we had a mutual love of wrestling, and she had mentioned that she was a ring announcer. So she invited me to a couple of shows. Long story short, the beginning of NCW in 2019 came around, and they were short a play-by-play guy. Typically, their guy is Atlee Green, who
Right.
runs Elkmania in Salem and Beverly.
Right.
He wasn't going to be able to make it, so Lauren dropped my name to JC, and JC said, as long as he shows up, he is. So
Nice.
I showed up. I worked alongside Derek Simonetti, and they haven't told me not to come back, so I guess you can say the rest is history at that point.
That's awesome. And, and being next to Derek, is never at a loss for words. So that must have made you feel very comfortable right off the bat. And did you know Todd before that? Before that night, had you met him?
I probably, this is a bit of a long-winded story, but we have a mutual acquaintance back when we were younger. I was dating a girl who had a brother who was very good friends with Derek. So we probably met crossing paths at some point, but we never knew it until I brought up the name to him about a month ago, and we made the connection. But no, I actually never really met him personally until that night.
Nice, but very, very good guy to have for your first partner for sure. Listen, I want. Did he? Well, that's good. All right, so you are the host of Working to a Shoot podcast.
That is correct. Yes.
You've got about 28, 27 episodes in, or do you have more than that?
About 35 now.
35. Nice. Who was your first guest?
My first guest was T. Phoenix.
Okay.
I figured, like I said, I'm down in the chop shop a lot, and that's his building. So I definitely wanted to talk to him, and he was more than happy to get things off of his chest, so to speak. But I should mention, Working to a Shoot, the podcast, I have to apologize to you, Leo, because I kind of accidentally stole one of your I had no idea you were doing the name.
That's all right. It's not mine. I stole it from somebody else, so I can't remember who I took it from. But, it's all good. It's fun to play that game, though, isn't it? I mean, it really is.
Oh, good time.
You fill up an hour. If you had to go an extra hour, let's say, I mean, as long as you can come up with names, you're all set.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
But yeah, T was an awesome guest, and it just ballooned from there. Everybody heard T's episode, and they started coming to me asking if they could be on the show.
Nice. And I got to apologize. I haven't listened to anything yet, but this is what I'm going to start doing during work. We're doing summer cleaning. I'm a custodian at an elementary school. And now that the school's sanitized, they don't want to give us any time off, So we're starting to do summer cleaning because we have till May 4th. Once it gets to the end of April, then we got to stop what we're doing and figure out if school's coming back or not. It's crazy.
I know. It's up right now.
But I definitely, I'm not familiar with T. Phoenix or anything, so it's going to be good. And I've looked at some of your guests. I'm not familiar with a lot of them, so it's going to be nice to listen to. It'll get me a lot more familiar with the guys down in your area, because I pretty much only go to shows in my area. If I can't get back and forth within an hour, I don't go.
That's what I want to do with this show is, these guys have stories to tell, and I want them to have that outlet to be able to tell those stories. Whether it's, a story from the road or how they got into the business, it's just something that I think fans want to hear. And it's been pretty receptive so far. So it's been relatively successful for such a niche audience.
Nice. And it's great, though, because there's so much great talent in New England. And that's exactly what this show started out to be. When I was telling, my family that I was going to start a show, and I told them wrestling, they immediately thought WWE and all that. And I'm like, nah. It's all about the showcase and the great talent we have in New England. A lot of talent down in Rhode Island. A lot of talent up here in southern New Hampshire, northern Massachusetts. Just a lot of talent all through New England. Let's get a couple fan questions. Bobby Rossi wants to know, what is your favorite part about working for NCW?
Oh, geez. First of all, Bobby Rossi, an amazing talent. He is the voice of the XWA down in Warwick, Rhode Island. So he is
great guy.
What I love about NCW, and you can pretty much say this about any organization I work for, is the people. They immediately accepted me into their family, basically. And it felt just so welcoming and so. I was in the interwebs all of a sudden from day one. It was absolutely amazing. JC, introduced me to Lumberjake, and I think Lumberjake gave me a hug the first time I saw him. So
Yeah, that's fine. He's a lovable type of guy too, Lumberjake. Don't tell him I said that. All right, Todd Graham says to me, ask him about the Golden Gate Bridge. He said it's a great story. Is that a story you can tell here?
Not the story he wants me to tell.
If you want to try and clean it up, or you want to go past it.
Well, I will. I'm sure he'll be on your show again, so you can ask him off the record about that. But there is a photo out there circulating of me with no goatee, blonde hair, in front of the Golden Gate Bridge. Derek was responsible for that picture. That's why he knows the backstory to it.
All right. That's very good. And I will definitely take you up on that. I will ask him. All right. So who do you look up to right now, in the wrestling business? And I know you're newer, so I'm sure you're going to say a lot, but are there just certain guys that automatically, I'm sure you give respect to everyone, but is there someone, though, that's really helped you that you didn't expect them to help you?
Simon Eddy, first and foremost. Like I said, he was my first broadcast partner. He taught me a lot of the give and take that goes along with being in a two-man booth. Bobby Rossi, he taught me a lot of, because in this business, everybody's got a different name for the same move. Bobby Rossi taught me a lot of the different names that the different guys have. And another guy that's really helped me out, other than obviously the promoters like T and JC, is the ace, Mike Montero.
Oh, yeah, he's a great wrestler too.
He is phenomenal in the ring, but he knows just as much, if not more, on the outside of the ring than he does inside the ring. The man, the man is incredible, and he'll listen to you too. If you want to pick his brain, he will listen to you. He'll give you an honest answer.
So I hear a lot of good things about Mike Montero. All right, do you have any favorite, like when you're ring announcing, right? Is there anybody that, like, you look at the lineup sheet, they're on the show, and you're like, yeah, I am going to announce this guy? Like, is there some of your favorite guys to announce? There's got to be somebody.
I've kind of gotten this little thing with Insane Dick Lane.
Nice.
I'll dig down and make my voice all gravelly and just be like, insane, and the crowd loves it. So him and Stephen Lust as well, because part of the show is he's a heel no matter where he goes.
Right.
So I'll announce him, and no matter how well I did it or whatever, he'll get in my face and say, "You did it wrong."
All right. How about guys you don't want to introduce? Maybe someone's giving you a hard time already in the ring or something. I don't know.
Well, funny story. And it is just part of the story with pro wrestling. Riot Kellen Thomas. He is one of the most popular baby faces in NCW. However, in most other promotions, he's a heel.
Right.
So I announced him as a heel for the first time, and I botched his ring announcement. I mispronounced something, and he got right in my face. And I'm new. I'm shaking in my boots. I'm freaking out. I literally sent him a Facebook message the next day saying, "Kellen, I'm sorry. I totally screwed up your announcement." He sent back a message like, "Dude, it's part of the show. I'm giving you a hard time." But no, there's really nobody that, I look on the card and I'm like, oh God, he's here. Everybody's just so amazing to me. And just makes, like I said, it makes me feel part of that family.
Nice. All right. So, how about, let's talk a little about WrestleMania that just happened over the weekend, the 2 nights. The WrestleMania, what they call it? The WrestleMania that's so big it had to be on 2 nights.
Yep.
I got to ask you.
Go ahead.
It was really good, but the one thing that kind of bummed me out is, and I know he's a local guy, but how the Viking Raiders weren't on the show. Now, I haven't watched Raw and SmackDown in a while. Are they hurt? Is someone hurt? Or they just weren't on the show?
Not to my knowledge. I do know that Vince is not a huge fan of tag teams. Never has been, never will be.
Never has. Right.
I mean, look at all the great teams he had in the 80s and early 90s that he broke up.
Yeah.
So, if you don't impress him on a night-to-night basis, you're out, unfortunately. And, with Eric and Ivar, they must have not impressed, and all of a sudden they disappeared.
Right. Yeah, it made me sad, though, I always want to see all the local talent do great. Off here, we talked quickly about the Undertaker AJ Styles Boneyard match. That's what it was called, right?
Yes. Yep.
Which like I said, you agreed that it came off really well. Do you think the Undertaker should call it a career? Now that he's had a WrestleMania match that went really well, or does he keep rolling with it? Like I said, he's 54, 55. It's my age. I couldn't wrestle.
He is in phenomenal shape for what he's been through and his age. In my opinion, I think this is the perfect way to go out.
Right. Me too. Yeah, I'm not a fan when guys hang on too long. I love Ric Flair, and for a long time, I thought he was the greatest wrestler in the world. Then he hung around too long. Do you know what I mean? And he changed my mind because he hung around too long. And now I give that to Shawn Michaels, who actually kind of he retired and then came back 4 years later and had a phenomenal run, and then retired while still on top again.
I was actually in attendance for what was supposed to be Shawn Michaels' last match. It was at WrestleMania 14 in Boston.
Right. Okay.
If you watch it on the network, you can see me clean shaven with an Austin 316 shirt and a hat on, second row hard cam. So I was there. I heard Shawn say, "This is it. I'm done." And like you said, 4 years later, he came back and he was better than ever.
Yeah, better than ever. And I also was in Lowell the night he lost his smile.
Oh God,
that's my hometown is Lowell.
Oh, okay, nice.
All right, so why don't we play the name game?
Let's do it.
All right. I want to start off with some guys that I know you're working for too. Ryan Andrews.
Oh, the Shane event.
Nice
he
guy.
and I love Ryan or Shane or whatever you want to call him. He is he's a character. He certainly is. He's actually pretty local to me here in Peabody. I think he lives pretty close to me. We share ring announcing duties at NCW, and the one thing he always asks for is the match that Mike Montero was in. He's got some sort of man crush on Mike Montero that he must announce him no matter what show he works.
Right. All right. That's cool. And how about the guy that didn't work the night you made your debut, Atlee Green?
Atlee Green is incredible. He made me the voice of Elkmania off of working that one show with Derek Simonetti.
Nice.
He loved what he heard. He thought that Derek and I had a great chemistry right off the bat. I actually started working in Elkmania with a man by the name of Dallas McCarthy, who I think I worked with him for maybe like 1 or 2 matches on an NCW show.
Okay.
And our chemistry was perfect as well. And Atlee loved it, and he said, "I want you to come on and do commentary." It was the first time that they did commentary for Elkmania, so Atlee trusting me with that responsibility means so much to me.
Nice. All right. How about Adam Nessel?
Adam Nessel, Mr. Nestlemania. Oh man, he's currently stepped away from the wrestling business.
Okay.
He was the voice of Proving Ground, but he's currently stepped away. He's other things going on in his life that he wants to tend to, but totally understand. But he's an amazing talent on the mic. I hope that he never loses that fire and he comes back, because he's absolutely. I saw the man stand up on the broadcast table to get a better view of what was going on in a street fight in Peabody. So the guy will go to no end to tell the story.
Nice. All right. How about Vern Vicalo?
Vern Vicalo is an amazing talent. He is the current NCW heavyweight champion. He defeated Brett Ryan Gosselin at WrestleFest. at the end of the NCW season, and an amazing talent. I think the first time I saw him, he was known as the Selfie-Made Man at a House of Brick show. Now he's deliciously vicious. He has found a whole new character to himself.
Yeah.
And once we get back to wrestling after this whole pandemic thing is over with, he's gonna shoot to the moon.
Yeah, he's a hard-working kid. He's been working hard for a long time now, too. You brought him up, Brett Ryan Gosling, or as I affectionately know him as, Donovan Piper. Yeah.
BRG is the quintessential heel in the professional wrestling. The man knows how to get under your skin.
Nice.
He almost started a riot in Dedham at an NCW show simply by flicking the hat off of a man who had way too much to drink that night. And yeah, that was an interesting night. But he's an incredible talent in the ring as well. I mean, he's got a really good future in this business.
Definitely. Been training with some right guys, too, right? With Matt Taven and Vinny, I think, right?
Right.
And also, I think he goes to the lockup, too, right? Once in a while with Ryan Drew.
I believe so, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the kid, and that's what they tell you to do. I mean,
Right.
I know nothing about training with different people. Like I said, I've only been with Brick House, but they say go to different people and learn different things because everybody's going to teach you something different.
Absolutely. All right. How about Chad Epic?
Chad Epic. Oh boy. No, I'm kidding. He's a great guy. I've done commentary with him on a few shows. He is New England's version of Bobby Heenan. He's a great manager at ringside. He's a great commentator. He knows exactly what to say. He knows exactly how to play off of what the play-by-play guy is saying. Absolutely incredible.
Awesome. We're going to do a couple of women here. How about Christina Marie?
Christina Marie.
Yeah. She's red hair. She hasn't worked on any shows down there with you?
I don't think I'm familiar with her, no.
Okay. How about the Sweetheart Suplex? No, the Suplex Sweetheart, Isana. Yeah, don't
Isana,
mind me.
no worries. Isana is exactly that. She's a sweetheart. She is actually currently the RWA Hype champion. I believe she is the first woman to hold that championship in RWA. I was there that night. I was doing double duty. I was ring announcing and doing play-by-play for that match. And I'm pretty sure that's the night I blew my voice out for about a week because I was so excited for her to win that title. She actually defeated the heavy hitter, Shay Cash,
Nice.
in that match. It was a great match, and the crowd went bananas when that 3 count hit. It was awesome.
That's great. How about Angel Sinclair?
Angel Sinclair, haven't really gotten to know her personally too much, but I have seen her in the ring several times. She worked NCW quite often. She's a great talent. She is a phenomenal heel in the ring. That's the only time I've ever seen her as a heel. Don't know if she works babyface. I know she used to run with Retro Anthony Green.
Yes.
She was part of his little faction. But yeah, she's a great talent in the ring, and nothing but the best for her. Absolutely.
Nice. How about her former Platinum Honey partner, Ava Everett?
Ava Everett, another great talent in the ring.
Yeah.
Got to know her a little bit when I kept screwing up her name. I was working an NCW show. It was the North Attleboro Kids Day, and Ava and Retro AG were working the show, and I kept calling her by her real name.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's Ava, it's Ava, it's Ava. It was written down as her real name, so she just kept on reminding me, Ava. Don't forget, it's Ava. So, no, but she was awesome. She's an incredible woman.
Nice. Yeah, both those girls are killing it, along with AG. How about have you met Jose Perez? Jose Garcia, Jose Perez.
Yes, haven't really met him other than getting his information for ring announcing. But another great talent in the ring. Definitely knows what he's doing. Yeah, he's a phenomenal guy in the ring.
Nice. Outside, too. He's a great guy. How about Calvin Campbell? Foxy Calvin Campbell.
Foxy, love Foxy. Um, he's so soft spoken when you talk with him in person. You just kind of get this feel like he's just a completely chill guy, and he's just very mellow. And then he comes out of that curtain and he flips the switch, and the crowd loves him when he comes out.
Yeah,
especially when he's with Doc Ozone.
I was just gonna bring him up too.
Doc is incredible with Foxy, but Foxy, great talent in the ring too. The guy. I've seen him go. At some points, 15, 20 minutes, and that's a long time in this business.
Oh, absolutely.
The man can
How
go.
about another guy who's probably been with Doc Ozone the longest, right? Osiris.
He is probably the biggest influencer for me to get into the business. I was going to NCW shows as a fan. My friend Lauren invited me to shows that she was working, and Osiris was at the time getting the push to be the guy in NCW.
Right.
And I just drew to him. It's like his charisma just kind of sucked me in, and I latched onto him and I followed him, and that I just made it sound like I was stalking him, but you know what I mean. I followed the storyline at that point, and when he won the heavyweight title from BRG in NCW, he invited everybody in the ring, and I went in there with him and just gave him a hug, and he's like, "Thanks for coming, and I hope to see you again." And then the next show was the season premiere of the 2019 show, and there I was working it.
Nice. That's awesome. How about Tom Billington?
Oh, I love Tom. Tom, he's a crazy SOB, but the guy knows what he's doing in and out of the ring. A lot of people don't know this, but he actually runs pretty much the music production at the Chop Shop. And I'm not just saying this for RWA. I mean, if he's available and there's a show at the Chop Shop, he's running the show basically on the music end. So he knows what he's doing back there. He knows what he's doing in the ring. He's absolutely incredible. But yeah, he's a little crazy sometimes.
All right. How about Sean Leader?
Sean Leader was actually my latest guest on the podcast. Before this whole pandemic hit, I had a bunch of guys lined up, and Sean was the last one I could squeeze in before we had this stay-at-home thing going on.
Right.
But talking with Sean during that, it's amazing what you can learn sitting down with a guy for like a half an hour. I mean, you do this all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And it just opened my eyes to a whole new side of Sean Leader. I mean, he's known as the freak show when he wrestles, and he has a good time in the ring. But he's such a down to earth guy. He's an incredible guy to talk to.
That is great. How about, you brought him up a few times, Mike Montero, the Ace.
The Ace is the man right about now. He has not disappointed in any match that I've seen him wrestle in the last 6 to 8 months. He is the current Proving Ground heavyweight champion. He's held that title for well over a year now. He won it in a ladder match against 5 other guys. I think I remember him taking a header off the ladder, one of those spots where he, dives on everybody.
Right.
And he's just an amazing talent in this ring. If he doesn't get noticed soon, it's a damn shame, because the guy can make it.
Nice. Very good. How about, I'm going to go out of your area a little bit, but I'm pretty sure at least the first kid has been down your way. Alec the Prize Price.
I've actually only seen him a couple of times in the ring. I was at the latest UFO show in Malden, Melrose, or whatever that was. And he was on that show. I mean, he impressed. He impressed. He had other promoters in the building that night coming up to him and asking him when and if he was available. So
Nice.
hopefully you see a lot more of Alec Price.
Yeah, I hope so too. How about our CJ Cruz?
CJ Cruz, again, not a guy I'm too familiar with. Have seen him in the ring, but he's definitely got what it takes. I think he's gonna go places in New England. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Him and Alec Price has had quite a few really good matches. How about Nico Silva?
Nico Silva, I've actually never seen him wrestle in person. I've seen a lot of stuff on the internet rather. I was about to combine internet and YouTube and make it YouTube. You know what I meant. Yeah, seen a lot of his stuff on YouTube. Great talent again. Look forward to seeing him in person in the future.
Great. Another young up-and-coming kid. Not sure if you've crossed paths with him, but Channing Thomas.
Oh, Channing is awesome. Channing is a running buddy with Brett Ryan Gosselin in NCW.
Yes.
That kid is going to make it. He absolutely is going to make it. He's got the character, he's got the talent, he's got the charisma, he's got it all.
Yeah.
Just like the ace. If he doesn't get noticed, it's a damn shame.
Right. Oh, I totally agree with you. How about Dan Terry? I don't know what he's going by now. What's his new nickname?
The American Hammer.
That's it. Yep, the American Hammer, Dan Terry.
Yeah. Yes. When I first saw Dan, he was doing the DTF character, and now he is all business. I mean, he comes to the ring. He's not doing the calisthenics that you would see him do. He just walks right to the ring. He's all business now, and it's done wonders for his career. It's absolutely incredible what the man's doing.
Nice. A fun little fact. Dan Terry thought I was Man McCheese. Yep, he did. Oh, yep, he did. He thought me and Sonny were Man McCheese, and I think he knows now that we weren't. How about Ricky Medeiros? Is that how you say his last name? Medeiros?
Medeiros. Yeah.
Yep.
Ricky was probably my most revealing guest on my show. Sat down with him for about 45 minutes in his apartment, and I mean, it's out there. We talked about it. It's on my show, so I can talk about it here. He actually is a recovering heroin addict.
Wow.
And but he's been clean for quite some time now.
Nice.
And the guy delivers the best drop kick and moonsault in New England.
Nice.
It's absolutely incredible. The height that he gets on his moonsault and his drop kick is spot on every time. The kid has definitely got it.
Nice. Okay. How about Big Bear Matooch?
Who's that?
Big Bear? Big Bear Matooch?
Oh, Big Bear. Big Bear, yeah. Again, another guy I've only seen wrestle once or twice. He was at the UFO show. For a big guy, he can move.
Yeah, for a big kid, yeah. Definitely.
He can move. But yeah, he's, like I said, never met him personally, but yeah, he's a great guy in the ring.
Nice. How about a guy I'm not too familiar with, but I know he's been killing it, King Leon VI.
King Leon, yes. Actually went through a recent character change.
Really?
Still the king, still King Leon. But now he's known, I believe, as the Black Blade. He debuted it on a couple of vignettes on his Facebook page, and then the pandemic hit. So it never really went anywhere, unfortunately. I hope that, again, it sounds like a broken record. Once this whole thing is over with, we'll see a lot of good things from the king.
Right. Nice. Okay. Do you know the host of Stirring the Pot, Don Kincaid? Have you met Don? Another guy that does shows.
Yes. Yeah. He bangs them out too. I just recently became friends with him on Facebook. He does like 3 or 4 shows a night or every other night. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm on Thursday.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
Hopefully I can get on a show. But like I said, just recently became Facebook friends with him. Just had a couple of questions with him about recording from home. I haven't been able to do a whole lot of interviews on my show,
Right.
just because of technological issues. I typically would go to the studio at my old broadcasting school to do all my editing. But yeah, he helped me out with a little bit of technical issues I was having. So thanks to him.
Nice. Good guy. How about Sierra? Is that Sierra, right? The
Yeah.
women's wrestler.
Picture perfect Sierra. Oh,
Yes.
Damn shame what happened to her in the ring.
What happened?
I don't know. I don't know if you heard, but
No.
this was about a year ago now, I think. She was in a match, and she was going for a Poison Rana, which is a reverse Hurricane Rana.
Right.
And she landed wrong, and she bent herself backwards, almost in half.
No.
She has not wrestled in the ring since.
Right. Oh, wow.
Video is out there if that's something that you want to check out.
Right.
I mean, I only recommend watching it once just to see it.
Yeah.
It was real tough to see. She's a sweetheart, though. She'll probably kill me for saying that because of her character, but she's awesome backstage. She's an amazing talent in the ring. I hope that she can get back in there someday.
Right. No, absolutely. I agree. How about you brought him up to Kellen Riot Thomas?
Kellen Thomas, yes. Great guy. He's a little, he's focused on what he's trying to do. You know, if you're with him on a show, you won't get a whole lot out of him as far as, conversation, because, he's so focused on what he wants to do. He's a great talent in the ring. He's the current RWA Triple Crown champion.
Oh, wow.
Which is their version of the heavyweight title. And yeah, he's absolutely incredible in the ring. He's definitely going places.
Nice. All right. How about Derek Conway?
Derek Conway is a great talent in the ring. I feel that he's one of the most underrated talents in New England.
Okay. Yeah.
I had an opportunity to sit down with him on my show, and he opened up like I never thought he would.
Nice.
And great guy to talk to, great guy in the ring. He was supposed to be in the main event of the what was supposed to be the upcoming Proving Ground show, Level 9,
right,
in PB against the Ace Mike Montero in a steel cage. Unfortunately, this whole thing happened once again, and that match has been put on hold. Hopefully, we can get that match in at some point this year, because those two can go in the ring. They're awesome.
Absolutely. How about Delilah Hayden?
Delilah, she's awesome. She is incredible. She's good in the ring. She has said herself that she's not fully properly trained, but she's still she's got the charisma, she's got the character.
Yep.
And she can pull some stuff out of her hat. She certainly can. I don't quite understand the whole cat thing that she does with the little puppets, but
Right.
it is what it is.
Yep, that's cool. How about Shay Cash, the heavy hitter?
Shay Cash actually was the first guy to come up to me and propose a bit of a bit in the ring.
Cool.
One night in NCW, my family was in attendance. My wife, my sister, and her husband were there, and I was telling Shay this backstage, and he's like, "Hey, let's try something out." So his match comes up, and in NCW, he has a tendency to lie about his weight. Okay. So he likes to be introduced as weighing in at 176 pounds.
Right.
So I get to that point on my card, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, 176 pounds? Who the hell are you kidding? And he goes crazy, and he chases me out of the ring, and he hits me with his jacket, and the crowd's going crazy. And that was a great moment for me, so I definitely got to thank Shay for that. And Shay and I have been good friends ever since.
Nice. Next time he does that, tell him in like the third grade you weighed 176 pounds.
I like that. That's good.
I used to do that with Sonny back in the day. All right, how about Shay's cousin, Davey Cash?
Davey's actually his uncle.
Oh, it's his uncle. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
What a great guy, though.
He's awesome. He's got this attitude in the ring that makes you not want to approach him at all. He just comes in full of, pea and vinegar, for lack of a better term. But backstage, he's chill. He's just a great guy to hang out with, talk with, and just keep him away from the fire alarms.
Oh,
The last MCW show. Yeah, the last MCW show ended abruptly because he accidentally tripped an alarm.
Oh, that's hilarious. How about Davey's old partner, Chris Pyro?
Chris Pyro, another great guy in the ring. Haven't really gotten to know him. Yeah, he can go. Haven't really gotten to know him personally too much, but like I said, he can go in the ring, singles or tag. I believe he and Davey are still the RWA Tag Team Champions.
Nice.
So
the Hood.
the Hoods. Yeah, they've held those titles for a long time. So good on them. And yeah, Chris Pyro, one of the best.
Nice. You brought up that you were down at the UFO show, Mr. Pat Dillon.
Pat Dillon, actually first met him at that UFO show. He was talking with Derek, and I kind of weaseled my way into the conversation a little bit and just introduced myself and what have you. But yeah, great guy, great promoter, knows what he's doing.
Yep.
Definitely wants things on time. He'll tell you that. He's not afraid to come out and tell you, let's go, wrap it up. But yeah, great guy. Great, absolutely knows what he's doing.
Nice. All right. How about go some tag teams down there in your area? Hot and Wild.
Hot and Wild, yes. That is Hot Shot Deshaun and Wildside Devin Baker. I say nice. Devin with some emphasis because I botched his name at a show once. I called him by his brother's name, David.
Ah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
He didn't like that, did he?
No, he took it in stride. Now, he calls me Phil. I call him Tim.
Right.
It's a running joke now. But they're a great team. I mean, it's your classic little man, big man.
Nice.
So, yeah, if they keep teaming, they're going to have some gold around their waist real soon.
Okay. How about the Young Guns?
The Young Guns, no matter what combination of them are in the ring, they are phenomenal. You got AJ Phoenix, you have Harry Brooks, the Golden Boy, the future Jamie Tucker, and we talked about Deshaun just a little earlier ago. Those four guys, they are the future of the business. If they keep going, although a lot of people say Jamie Tucker's a 55-year-old man in a 24-year-old man's body. I don't know what that's all about. But but yeah, those guys are incredible. I actually did a roundtable discussion with the Young Guns. Haven't been able to edit it and post it yet. So as soon as I get back in the studio, that's the first thing to go up. But yeah, it was a great conversation with all of them. I've actually interviewed AJ and Jamie Tucker individually on my show as well.
Oh, nice. Okay. How about the Devil's Reject, Brandon Webb?
Another guy I haven't met personally, but have been to a few shows that he's worked at.
Right.
The man's incredible in the ring. From what I understand, he paints his face before he gets to the show. So can you imagine seeing that on the highway on your way to somewhere?
That'd be crazy.
But no, he's great in the ring. He's an incredible talent.
All right. How about Jack Connor?
Oh, Jammin' Jack, yeah. Another great interview that I had on my show. I feel like I'm plugging my show a lot here, but
that's all right. Good. That's what we need to do before this ends, too.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. But Jack Connor, great guy in the ring. The jukebox hero, as he comes out to his entrance music. He's really shown me some things in the past few months in the ring. The man can go. The man can go.
All right. How about Theodore J. Liftington?
I love Lift. It took me a while to sell his gimmick, so to speak. He's the old school strongman, and he shakes the hand of the referee, and the referee sells it, and then he gets to me, and I forget to sell it. So, So I've learned since then. But no, Lift is a great guy in and out of the ring. Definitely will listen to you. He'll give you feedback on anything that you feel like you need to, and he'll even come up to you and give you some much needed criticism if need be. The man's not shy to let you know.
Nice. All right. How about the Mighty Bosch?
The Mighty Bosch. Love this guy. The guy's a big teddy bear. But he's also got one of the biggest moonsaults in the business. And if you haven't seen it, you got to go to the RWA YouTube page.
Okay.
The RWA, the number 4, and EVA is the YouTube page. Find the match with him and Devin Baker, and you'll see the biggest moonsault you've ever seen. And it's picture perfect.
Nice. That's awesome. How about the masshole, Mike McCarthy?
This guy's awesome. He really is. Amazing in the ring. He is the funniest guy outside of the ring. I mean, you can just say a couple of things that randomly come up, and he'll have a story about it, about something that happened to him, and it's just the guy's a laugh a minute outside the ring. He's nothing but business inside the ring.
Right.
Hope to the last show he worked in RWA, I unfortunately missed, so I haven't seen him in a while. So hope to see him again real soon.
All right. How about Alessandro Russo?
One of the students at the Brick House class on Monday nights. He's starting to show me something. He's starting to get it, as they would say.
Right.
As anyone comes in, you're raw. You're green, they say in the business.
Yeah.
He's starting to catch on, and it's going to work out for him. I think he's doing really well.
Nice. T Phoenix.
T Phoenix. Can't say enough about T Phoenix. The man gave me an opportunity in RWA to be his full-time ring announcer. Recently gave me an opportunity to work some play-by-play.
Nice.
He's been on my show twice. If you're going to start somewhere on my show, listen to his episodes, because he holds very little back. He actually, this is a funny story, and I'll try to keep it short, but his original regular ring announcer had a flat tire one day during for a show, and he must have got my number or Facebook from Derek, because I got a message from him asking me if I could make it down to Pawtucket in time for the show. He gave me like an hour's notice. I live in Peabody.
Right.
Luckily, I was in Walpole at the time of the message. So I was dressed like a scrub, though, so I'm not in ring announcing attire. So I stop at Walmart. I buy some ill-fitting skinny jeans, which me and skinny jeans do not collide in the same sentence. And some reflective jogger shirt to go under a suit jacket that I happen to have in the car. Pulled it off, got to the show with like 10 minutes to spare, and after the show, T asked me if I could, do things a little bit more full-time for him. So,
nice.
Like I said, must have done something right, because he keeps asking me back.
Nice. And how about his son, who is killing it right now, AJ Phoenix?
AJ is another one that is the future of the business.
Yep. Absolutely.
The kid is only 18 years old, and he's got the awareness of a 10-year vet. He's absolutely incredible in the ring. So, and everything is different. A lot of guys will use the same moves for, a certain amount of time before they start changing things, adding. AJ is always changing. You never know what he's going to come out with.
Right.
And it just makes for an incredible match every time he comes out.
Now, he's just a senior in high school, correct?
He's a senior in high school who's also taking college courses. So
wow. Good for him, man. He's very smart. Sounds like a bright kid, that's for sure. How about JT Dunn?
JT Dunn? Haven't met him in person.
Okay.
To my knowledge. I don't recall. If I have and I forgot, I apologize, JT. But from what I hear, he's a great guy to know in the business, and hopefully we can meet again at some point.
Nice. I'm not sure if he's in Rhode Island or Connecticut. Fogman. Do you know Fogman? Mike Inevitable? No?
No, it doesn't ring a bell to me.
Okay. That's all right. How about another tag team? The Brass Knuckle Bullies.
These guys. Oh, boy. This is David Baker, not to be confused with his brother Devin, and Chris Cruz. Chris Cruz.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Chris Cruz is an incredible talent in the ring. David Baker really has found himself with this tag team. Him and Chris meshed very well almost immediately.
Nice.
They actually took on Hot and Wild at the last RWA show, and to see David and Devin just, as Big E from the New Day say, slapping meat.
Right.
They would just attack each other. I mean, right hands.
Wow.
Chest. It was something to see.
That's awesome. How about Brickhouse Baker?
Brickhouse is incredible. Like I said, he runs the class down at the Chop Shop on Monday nights. An amazing teacher, his right-hand man down there. Like I said, the right stuff, Stephen Lust. Those two guys can teach you a lot of things. Brickhouse will, he'll joke around, he'll have a good time with you, but if he sees you doing something that you shouldn't be doing, he'll call you out for it right in front of everybody, and he's not shy about it. So that's what I love about him.
Right, I'm sure he's not. Why don't you plug all your social media, your podcast, and everything?
All right. Well, first, got to get out there that Proving Ground is available on IWTV. Nice. NCW is available on Pivot Share. The RWA, I plugged their YouTube page, RWA Forever. And as far as me personally, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Davis Wright, WIAS. You can find me there. And my show, Working to a Shoot, is available on all major podcast platforms. You got your Apple, you got your Spotify, you got your Google, and Stitcher and Anchor as well.
Nice. Davis, I want to thank you for coming on. When this is all over with, I'd love to have you and Bobby Rossi come up for an Inside the Studio episode.
Oh, that'd be great. I'd love that.
Great. Again, thank you very much, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby. I was calling you Bobby. No, really, though. Listen, take care of yourself, and we'll talk soon.
Will do.
Guys,
all right,
that's it.
Leo.
Bye-bye. Peace.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.